Hello, welcome to the Coach's Corner. My name is Brian Fuller. I'm the Associate Athletic Director of McDowell High School. Joined today by Joe Leto, Senior member of our boys basketball team, and Sarah Anderson, a Senior member of our girls swimming team. Before we get to our guest today, some news out of the athletic office. First, we want to congratulate Adam Clement, a member of our boys soccer team. He was recently chosen as the District 10 Player of the Year. That's very exciting for Adam and for our boys program. We are expecting some big news out of Adam coming up soon. He will be choosing what college he will be going to. I believe he will be accepting a Division I scholarship here. And we'll have that announcement soon as Adam makes up his decision there. Some other news. Talk about boys basketball. Our tickets. We have been receiving a lot of calls for tickets already for the McDowell prep game on January 24th. We believe we've finally come up with a plan. We had discussed a lottery system and some other ideas, but I think what we're going to do is basically a first come, first serve sale on January 7th from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. in the McDowell North Gym. We're trying to build a hype for the game and kind of get the big game atmosphere going a little bit, so we expect people to be waiting in line and things like that. So we'll have a general admission sale January 7th from 7:30 to 9:30 in the McDowell North Gym. McDowell students, you have nothing to be afraid of. We are going to hold out 200 tickets for McDowell students grades 9 through 12, and we will be selling those on January 5th and 6th only. So that'll be your chance for the McDowell students to come get their tickets in the athletic office on Monday and Tuesday, January 5th, January 6th. After January 6th, all of those tickets then will be going into the general admission sale on January 7th. So we're going to try to get our students first shot at some tickets so that we can pack the place that night with a lot of McDowell fans. Also at the boys basketball game, something new we're going to add this year. We kind of did one last year, but we're going to continue it this year. We're going to have the Kronk Insurance halftime basketball shot. And what we're going to do is that at each home basketball game for the boys, 2 McDowell students will be selected. They will come out. They will shoot a 3-point contest, and whoever wins that individual contest each night, those names will go into the final drawing for a chance at a halftime shot, which I don't even know what that contest is yet. The insurance company will not allow us to disclose that. So the sponsors have not even told me yet what that contest is. But the night of the McDowell prep game, when the gym is going to be packed, 2 students will have a chance to complete whatever contest it is, and if they complete it, they will get $10,000 cash. Each one has a chance at winning $10,000, so that's going to be a very exciting night there. Okay, so that's our news out of the athletic office. Let's get to Joe now. Joe, I guess, first of all, you're a senior member of the boys basketball team. First of all, why basketball? I mean, that's your main sport here at McDowell. Why did you choose basketball when you were a little kid?
I started playing around 5th, 6th grade, so basketball was always just fun. I thought it was like the most exciting sport. It's like constant, like no stop in the game and everything.
And I actually have to say I'm kind of dating myself a little bit, but I remember when you were in 5th or 6th grade, coming to the McDowell home games, doing all the halftime contests and winning all of the mic and drill and the layup drill and all that kind of stuff, and you were winning all that. So I remember you playing since then. So you like the action of basketball a little bit, and to help you with that action, what's your preparation like in the off season? Do you do anything special for yourself, or what's the program preparation like?
Well, I lift a lot, like with the team and like on my own, and we have open gyms like 3 to 4 times a week probably, and we also have team camps a lot. So we're working a lot over the summer.
When you say team camps, what exactly are those?
Like probably like 10 to 12 teams like go to like Gannon or Barron or somewhere, and you just play like a round robin. Everybody plays everybody.
Okay, so you're getting a lot of actual game action then in the offseason. Do you guys go to any off-season tournaments? Any independent type tournament, like AAU tournaments? Do you do anything like that, or is it just mainly the team camps?
This year actually we did go to our McDowell basketball team went to a lot of AAU tournaments, and our team qualified for nationals, but we didn't end up going, but we did qualify, and we went to about 6 or 7 of those.
Okay, so you put a lot of time in the off-season with the core group of guys. Now, there are some other guys that play other sports. I'm sure they weren't able to make it to all the events, which is one thing we encourage here at McDowell for you guys to play as many sports as you can. So you had a pretty good idea what your team was going to be like. What are your thoughts going into the season? I mean, did you guys feel pretty confident, thinking, hey, we got a pretty solid team coming back? Because you did lose 4 key players off of last year's team. There were 4 main starters and big-time contributors for the program. So coming in, I mean, a 4 out of 5 starters losing, that's got to put some doubts in your mind. But after preparation in the offseason, what did you guys think coming in?
Well, we knew that we had I think we had 8 returning juniors that were coming into the program, so we weren't too worried about it that much. I mean, losing 4 starters is big, but we had a lot of juniors contribute off the bench, and our goal actually was to go into our Christmas tournament 8-0 undefeated, but we dropped one to GM the first game.
Speaking of that first weekend, that just happened this past weekend, what are your thoughts now? Do your thoughts change at all? Obviously, you may have to readjust a little bit. You're not going to be 8-0 going into your holiday tournament. But after playing that first game, do you start getting some self-doubts a little bit in the team? Or how did you guys regroup after that?
The next morning, me and the fellow captain, Jason Kime, we held a team meeting, just players, no coaches, and we wanted to just get everything resituated and regroup each other. We just didn't like the way that we were going and like the way we played. We didn't play like our McDowell way.
Now, what do you think at that first game? Let's talk about that a little bit. What happened, basically? What happened? I mean, you guys, if people don't know, they did drop a tough game at General McLean versus General McLean. Why? And when in your mind, what do you think? Do you guys was it just not your night? You were not ready? I mean, was the first game jitters, or what do you think?
I think it was a combination of things, but I don't think that we played very hard at all. Like, our team didn't think that we played hard at all. When we watched film, we could see it, and Coach Eds got on us about it, but we ended up regrouping the next game, coming out with a win, and then
one of the things this year that I think a lot of the advantages that you guys have that people think is your depth. You guys will probably go 9 or 10 deep, with no problems. Do you think maybe that's a problem early on? Because you guys, to me, it didn't seem like you guys found the right mix. You weren't really gelling on the court. Is it because maybe you are too deep at this point where, everyone deserves to be on the court, so coaches have got to get them in there at some point. That's going to be a tough job for a coach all year is getting that mix. Do you think it's going to take, maybe a week or two or maybe even longer than that to get the right mix of guys playing together?
Yeah, I think it's going to probably take a couple games to see like where everybody's at to get the right group in there. But I think having depth is actually a good thing for us because practices are a lot more competitive. Everybody's always trying to get playing time because everybody's so close in talent.
And that's just it. Some of your practices, quite frankly, may be tougher than some of your games.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is good. Competition is always good. Like I said, they're competing to get on the court, so that's always going to be good. Let's talk about your second game against McLean. You guys just won a big game last night against General McLean. What'd you do different this time?
We matched their intensity like right off the bat. We didn't have any intensity the first game and came out and just matched their intensity and played it.
Do you think the first game you guys almost expected to win?
Yeah.
So you kind of took them for granted a little bit, and that's why I said I would rather lose my first game of the year than lose my last game of the year. Now you have 21 other games to get it fixed. We had to head into the postseason.
Yeah, it was a huge eye opener for us.
And that's good. And like you said, the first one, it's better to lose the first than lose a big one in the middle and lose any momentum. You guys really didn't have any momentum going yet. So now you get to build on that. And I've always said through my years of coaching that it's not a bad loss if you learn from it. And obviously you guys have learned from it, you've regrouped, and you've changed some things, and you're able to come out with a win against McLean the second time. All right, let's talk about team goals, personal goals this year. What do you have? As an athlete, do you set personal goals? Do you have a certain amount of points you want to score or assist or anything like that? And what are some of the team goals that Coach Hetz has set for you guys?
Coach Hetz has set some team goals that, we all basically set them. We want to win District 10, obviously, and there's only 4 teams this year as East and Central dropped out, but there's 4 teams this year in District 10. We want to win that, and we want to go farther than we did last year in the playoffs.
Okay, any personal goals you have?
Just play hard all the time. Okay,
now let's talk about the prep game. Now this is going to be the first time in a long time the prep has come into our gym. What do you think that night's going to be like?
I mean,
as an administrator, I'm looking at it thinking, okay, I got to make sure this is done, this is done. But as a player, you guys have got to be fired up. I mean, it's going to be absolutely packed in that gym. It's going to be extremely loud, and it's going to be just an electric atmosphere. As a player, I mean, you're not going to look that far ahead. That's 2 months away or a month and a half away. But I'm sure it's in the back of your mind. You guys are looking forward to that night.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, just what are your thoughts about that game?
Well, McDowell Prep rivalry is always huge, and the fact that it's going to be played at our gym, and our gym's a lot smaller than Gannon, so the crowd's going to be, seems like it's going to be bigger.
Right on top of you.
Yeah, and they're going to be right on top of us, so it should be a very exciting game.
It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, last question. What are your plans for next year? You're a senior here at McDowell. Are you looking at any colleges? Are you hoping to play college basketball? Or are you just going to become a student and take part in the other activities in college and enjoy the college life? Or what are your plans as of right now?
I'm hoping to play college basketball, D3, small D2 somewhere. Maybe Penn State, Altoona, Mercier, Gannon, those kind of schools.
Do you have anybody, have you been talking to any coaches and coaches in contact with you yet?
Penn State, Altoona, and Hillbrook College are both looking at me like the most, so either one of those.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching the rest of this season and obviously following you in college. You've been a great athlete for us for the last 4 years, and it's been enjoyable to watch. And like I said, we'll wish you the best of luck for the rest of this season and next year.
Thank you.
Okay, some upcoming events for our boys. Our freshmen's basketball team on the 15th will play Franklin High School away. That's a 4 o'clock start. Our boys varsity swimming will host Mercyhurst Prep. Is a 6 o'clock start here at the McDowell pool. Boys basketball will go to Fort LaBeouf on the 15th. That's Monday as well. That's a 7:30 tip for the varsity, 6 o'clock tip for our JV team. And then on Tuesday, Our varsity swimming then, again, will compete in a tri-meet with Seneca Valley. That will be at Seneca Valley High School out of the Whitfield with a 6 o'clock start. Junior varsity and JV and varsity basketball again on the 16th. We'll host Central High School, 6 o'clock, JV start. Varsity game will be right after that. Then on Saturday the 20th, Franklin will come in for a JV and varsity game. And there will also be a freshman game before that. So there'll be 3 boys basketball games in the McDowell North Gym that day at 11, 1, and 2:30. So that'll be an exciting day for our boys basketball program here at McDowell. And that gets us to our next guest, who's been patiently waiting here, Sarah Anderson, senior member of our girls swim team. You know, we talked about with Joe about his preparation in the off season. I don't think people realize what it takes to be a swimmer at the level that our program swims at. What are some of the things you guys do in the off season? I know you're a water polo player. You know, how does that help prepare for your swim season? What are some other things that you do in the off season?
Well, after the swim season ends in like March, he usually gives us a couple weeks off, and then we go back into the regular after-school practices, and we'll prepare for water polo. We'll have like an hour of water polo, an hour of swimming, and then in the summer we have practice 7 to 9 in the morning, and then we also have water polo practice a couple days a week at night.
Now, do you get a chance to swim competitively in the off season? Do you have any kind of, you know, there are individual like invitationals you can go to, or do you guys go as a group for anything?
Well, we swim for Miss Swim Team, and they have like small meets against other teams around the area, like Lakeshore Country Club and stuff. But we also can go to long course meets, which are like at like University of Pittsburgh and stuff like that, which are optional. Okay,
we talked about for swimming. It's like I said, people don't realize the hours you guys put in a pool. What is a typical day? Like say, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I know you guys come in early. So what are those days like for you as a swimmer?
Usually you come in, or you have practice at 6 o'clock, and then we do.
And that's 6 o'clock a.m.
Yeah, and then we usually do circuits, which means that you go around and you use different equipment, like a stretch cord, which makes you swim faster, and you do like.
So are those mostly dry land drills then?
No, in the water.
So you're doing all in the pool as well?
Yeah, or you do like vertical kicking. And then after school practice from like 3 to 5, we swim around like 6,000 yards a day, about.
Okay, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you guys are in here before school and after school. Tuesday, Thursday, you're just after school. And then Saturdays, you're in here from about 7 to 10,
yeah.
7 to 9, somewhere around there. So we figured that out before the show started. You're swimming about 40,000 yards a week, which when we calculate, that's about 25 miles a week you guys are swimming. And that's, I mean, runners have a hard time running 25 miles a week. And you guys are doing that in the pool, which is just kind of ridiculous if you ask me. But I'm not a swimmer, so it's, as a swimmer, 25 miles probably isn't that much for you guys. But that just shows you that the commitment you guys have to this program. And that's, again, why the McDowell Swim program is where it's at. I think it's one of the best in the state, and why you guys do so well at the state meet. Talk about meets. What events do you swim?
I swim the 50 free, the 100 free, and I'm starting to swim the 200 free now.
Okay, why those particular events? Is that just kind of what you fell into, or where it fits that helps the team most, or what you enjoy the most?
The 50 and the 100 free, I've always swam it because I've been a sprinter. And then the 200 free, he just recently put me in it because I swam it a couple times, and he said that I was doing all right. So. Now
those, for anybody that's been to a swim meet, those are kind of the most exciting events because they're the sprints. You know, they're the up and backs, and it's the ones that are really exciting. To put things, I mean, what do you think about, you know, let's go back to the Olympics and Michael Phelps. What, he won 7 gold medals,
yeah.
I believe. I mean, as a swimmer, you can probably relate to that much better than I can, but how difficult is that?
It's difficult. It's pretty hard.
And then he's doing it at a world-class level against the best in the world, and for somebody to win 7 gold medals is pretty crazy. Now, talk about his diet. I mean, I'm sure people are aware of what this guy eats, but do you guys have any special diet as swimmers? I mean, does Coach Schultz make sure that you're getting a certain fruit or anything like that, especially on maybe event days?
Actually, yesterday he gave us a whole speech about protein and how we need to eat protein 6 times a day. And he was talking about how we should get like protein shakes or protein bars and eat a lot of meat and stuff like that.
So you guys are going to be eating a lot of chicken and peanut butter sandwiches and things like that now. Let's talk about your personal goals this year, personal team goals. As a sprinter, what are some of your goals you have individually, and what are some of the goals that Coach has set for the team?
Individually, my goals are always just to make my times lower. And now that I'm swimming the 200 free, I want to try to get better at that because I've only swam it like 3 times. And then team goals, I guess every year it's to win districts, which we've won for like 13 years in a row. And then also to place in the top like 10 at states, 5 or 10 at states.
Now let's talk about states a little bit. Qualifying for the postseason. Now districts, there's a district meet held at Barron every year in mid to late February. Now is that the only chance you get to qualify for states? Or do you get to, like some, do you achieve a certain time during the year that automatically qualifies for states, or is it only that one meet?
I think it's only the district meet. You like the winner of each event automatically goes to states, and then anyone who swam, there's also like people who can get in if they have if their time's high enough.
So it's based on a time at that meet, but it is basically one shot. It's kind of like our golf, their program where they have the district tournament.
Yeah.
You either do it that day or you don't, which makes it difficult. I mean, you prepare all season, and then you get to that one meet. If you have an off meet for some reason, you are kind of swimming in an unfamiliar pool.
Yeah.
Does that make a difference? Swimming at Barron, we're in a pool that you haven't been in very much?
Not really, because for in the summer swimming, for a couple weeks we go to Barron and swim there because they're cleaning the pool out, so I'm pretty used to their pool.
And we're kind of fortunate this year. We're swimming Mercy Years Prep at Barron, so I also get you guys in the water at least one more time there.
Yeah.
Okay, last question for you then. Plans next year. You're a senior member of the team this year. Have you put some thought into next year for college? Do you want to swim in college? Or?
I was talking to the Allegheny coach a lot, and I was also looking into Grove City, but I decided on Gannon. I signed with them a couple weeks ago. I'm going to swim and play water polo for them.
I attended Gannon as well, so that's outstanding this year. Keeping the night tradition alive. Okay, very good. Again, we're looking forward to watching you guys this season. I will be at some swim meets. It's going to be fun to watch, and best of luck this year and in college.
Thanks.
Okay, some upcoming girl events. Our girls basketball team, junior varsity, will play Warren at home on Monday the 15th, 6 o'clock JV start, 7 o'clock varsity start. Our swim team, Sarah's team, will be participating also in that tri-meet with Seneca Valley on Monday. And again, that's a 6 o'clock start at Seneca Valley High School. Basketball team, again, is back in action on the 18th. JV and varsity will go to Fort LaBeouf for a 6 o'clock tip for the JVs, varsity to follow. Swimming again then on the 18th will be at Strong Vincent, competing against the Colonels there with a 6 o'clock start. And then swimming again on the 22nd against Warren. That's away. They will go down and face the Dragons in their pool. And then junior varsity girls basketball in a very big game against Mercyhurst Prep on the 27th. And that is set for a 7:30 tip at McDowell. That brings us to then our new segment that we started here on our last show, our email question. And I believe we have a question that will be coming up on the screen here shortly, but it is in regards to our boys holiday tournament. When is the boys varsity basketball holiday tournament and who will be competing? And this is from Brian P. out there in our viewing audience. Our boys holiday tournament will be December 26th and 27th. On the 26th at 6 o'clock p.m. we will have North Allegheny versus Cleveland St. Ed's. And then at 7:30 Northeast High School, just on the road here, we'll be playing our host Trojans at 7:30. And then on the 27th at 6 o'clock will be the consolation game. So the two losers will play at 6, and then the two winners will be face off in a championship game at 7:30 on December 27th. Okay, so hopefully our Trojans will be able to get things going there. Last year we had a very exciting game with Northeast. I believe it went right down to the buzzer, and it was a buzzer beater, and that put them, for the finals there. So hopefully our Trojans will be able to do well and win that championship there. And if you have any questions and you'd like to email them to us to be part of the show, you can email address is there on the screen at McDowellCoachesCorner@hotmail.com. We will be happy to read that question on the air in the next show. And if you have any questions at all for the McDowell Athletic Office, feel free to contact us at 835-5428. If you want to view the show, all our shows are archived on our MTSD.org website. Go to the MTSD-TV link there and then click on Coach's Corner, and you can watch any show that we've had here in the past year or so. And that goes for you guys. If you have any family anywhere in the nation, just tell them to go to that website, and they'll be able to view the show there. And if, again, any questions for the athletic office, feel free to call us, 835-5428. We'd be happy to answer those questions. And appreciate you viewing the show here. Hope to see you out in our courts and in our pool watching our teams here this winter. And as always, go Trojans.